na apologize kama niendelea tu. Hatunanga adabu sisi. Tuendelea tu. We are not apologizing. Tunatoa tu. Tumanaleza. Thank you for joining us on Newswatch tonight here on Hope TV as we bring you news that made headlines tonight. My name is Melissa Oduor and the sign language tonight is Boniface Mureithi. Newswatch begins now. Now the government has promised to improve the sports sector, including a reward system that is more sustainable for athletes. This as the world gathered in Elgeyo Marakwet to lay to rest world marathon record holder Kelvin Kiptum. Sports and Youth Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba in his speech said the national government will in the current financial year construct a national stadium in honor of Kiptum and in efforts to further support sporting activities. Nelly Aswenjiru begins her coverage tonight.
The Kenya's athletes are said to benefit from construction of stadiums among other facilities as the government led the nation in paying last respect to world marathon record holder Kelvin Kiptum. Sports and Youth Affairs Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba said the national government will in the current financial year construct a national stadium in honor of Kiptum and in efforts to further supporting the sports activities. President William Ruto, who also attended the funeral service, said the stadium and training centers they have been asking for are now possibly because the government has secured funding. This comes after the KO South Member of Parliament Gideon Kimayu has urged the government to construct a new stadium in memory of the late world marathon record holder Kelvin Kiptum. Kimayu said a facility to honor the athlete who tragically lost his life in a road accident on February 11 along his Rwandese coach Gravis Hakizimana will serve a reminder of his achievement. The legislator highlighted that besides celebrating Kiptum's legacy as a national hero, the stadium would also address the long-lasting issue of inadequate facility for athletes. The head of state said members of parliament should table the sports fund law to parliament for amendment. He has meanwhile urged veteran sportsmen to extend a hand of mentorship to the young and upcoming ones. He said this will go a long way in shaping the career of the sportsmen in the country. He added that in Kelvin they saw the future of athletes in Kenya, urging the athletes to be mindful of their lifestyles.
Mimi nataka niwaulize wanariadha wetu. Mumejaliwa na Mungu. Bidii yenu imewafikisha mbali. Musikubali mambo haya ya madawa ya haribu talanta zenu na ya haribu sifa yenu kama wanariadha wa taifa letu la Kenya. Tutashirikiana pamoja na nyinyi. And I have made a commitment that every year we are going to have $5 million as we committed to World Athletics to make sure that we deal with the problem of doping in Kenya.
Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen on his part called for the employment of athletes in the government even when they have no academic certificates. The CS said the country cannot continue to place a lot of premium only on academic papers while ignoring athletes who have flown the country's flag high.
Your Excellency, under CBC program, we need to change our mindset. We should not force everybody to have a particular certificate. Their running exploits must count for something and must be rewarded to be a certificate. And Your Excellency, there is no problem if we can absorb these world athletes once they win their medals in the world. There's no problem to take them to government parastatals to become brand ambassadors and get them a job, Your Excellency.
Sports CS Ababu Namwamba has said they are already working on these facilities and the construction of many stadiums is on the tail end to be completed.
We have advertised the construction of Camarine Stadium to international standards, and we are at the tail end to start that project. Alongside Camarine, we will also be upgrading Iten grounds. And in honor of our fallen hero, I see no reason why we cannot add these Chepkorio grounds to that project, which is already progressing.
On his part, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, he has wished all athletes and sports people well and promised the government will be honoring them as they break records, as they did to Kiptum before his death and many others.
Tunaomba wale wanariadha wote ambaye wataenda Olympics to honor this great son here by carrying our flag high and shattering many other world records. That way, tutakuwa tumeinua jina lake.
As a result of Kiptum's tragic death, the athletes during Kiptum's burial committed a special prayer towards a road crash that claimed the life of one of their own. Dressed in black, they knelt before the bishops and a prayer against accidents was recited. Marathon world record holder Kevin Kiptum, who dreamt of breaking the race's stories to our barrier, was remembered for his talent and humility at a funeral service today. Kiptum, aged 24, and his coach Gavis Hakizimana were killed earlier this month in a car crash. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Nelias Wanjiru.
Now the global community has mourned Kelvin Kiptum, the world marathon champion, during his funeral service at the Chepkorio ACK showgrounds in his hometown of Elgeyo Marakwet. A multitude of individuals from across the globe, along with local dignitaries, attended the state funeral and paid their last respects and honored the remarkable achievements of the world-renowned athlete. Kate Diego reports on the solemn ceremony as the world reflected on the legacy left behind by Kiptum and the impact he made in the world of athletics.
Family, friends, athletes, leaders, and the world at large gathered to lay to rest men's world marathon holder Kelvin Kiptum at his home in Chepkorio, Elgeyo Marakwet. Kiptum, who broke 3 world marathons, the Valencia Marathon in 2022, the London Marathon in 2023, and the 2023 Chicago Marathon, died on the 11th of February in a fatal car accident in the company of his coach, Gervais Hakizimana.
I can't learn how to say goodbye to you with weak fingers and pain in my heart. It's unbelievable that today I've learned to stay with our beloved kids without you coming home again. I mourn my love. I've cried until no more. I'll miss you.
Family, who were in deep pain, could not hold back on their devastation as the late athlete's wife, Asena Throtich, expressed how she had lost the love of her life and prayed for strength in order to raise their 2 children.
Valencia Marathon, yeye akishinda, nilipata wakati wa kuwa naye karibu sana, akawa rafiki yangu sana. Tumekuja hapa binafsi kutoa pole kwa familia hii na kwa niaba ya wanariadha wote Tanzania. Ni msiba mkubwa ambao umetusikitisha na umetupa wakati mgumu sisi kama familia wakimbiaji kutoka Tanzania, na tumekuja kuungana pamoja na wakimbiaji wa hapa Kenya, familia na wananchi wote.
Athletes present were fellow record holders including Faith Kipkeyon, who wished Kiptum a peaceful rest and expressed how deeply he will be missed. Tanzanian top athlete Gabriel Gay, who came second in the Valencia Marathon, also expressed his deep sadness and loss of a great friend.
Pia juzi ni kama nataka kuvunja record, akaniambia ngoje nitavunja, and he was in the starting line for Iten International Marathon. Since then we became friends, na tangu siku hiyo wakati aliwin hii ya juzi October, he came all the way to my office. We received him and we celebrated together in October, Your Excellency, after you had done it in Nairobi with CS Namwamba.
Elgeyo Marakwet Governor Wesley Rotich described the late champion as a close friend to him. He narrated their encounters and expressed the great achievements Kiptum could have gained, as well as their future plans in the upcoming Paris Marathon.
This great loss. This is a message from the Cabinet of the Republic of Kenya. Your Excellency, allow me to briefly say a couple of things on behalf of the Ministry responsible for sports. Today I stand here really with a very heavy heart because Kiptum for me was like a son. And I interacted with this young man up close, and he was an incredible, incredible young Kenyan. A bright star dimmed far too soon, and an athlete who was already taking a prominent role in all the good things that this ministry and government is doing.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua acknowledged Kiptum's effort and offered his deep sympathy to the family.
Your Excellency, I'll be very short. Kwa sababu hii baridi vile naendelea. Hata wewe rais ukija nimekuomba ufupishe pia. Kwa sababu huyu Kipchumba Murkomen hakutuambia tuvae vizuri pahali tunakuja. Mimi rais, tumekuja na rais hapa to join the family to mourn this great son of this land and a hero of our great country. A young man who has done proud to our republic by shattering the world record and was looking forward to even do much better in the Olympics at Paris. We have come to condole with the young family and the parents and to tell them that we hold them in prayer, that God give them strength to bear the great loss records.
President William Ruto also joined in offering his condolences, emphasizing on Kiptum's greatness and prowess. He urged other athletes to perform exemplary in the upcoming Paris Marathon in honor of the late Kiptum.
Hawa ni Mkenya ambaye alitambulika, na vile mumeona hata katika kifo yake dunia mzima imeungana kwa sababu ya kijana huyu Kevin. And therefore we've come here as friends, as family, as leaders, to condole with the family on the demise of this great Kenyan and a world beater. Alifika mahali amevunja rekodi ya dunia.
Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs, Sports and Arts, Ababuna Mwamba, on behalf of all Cabinet Secretaries, also gave his condolences to the family, expressing the world's great loss and describing Kiptum as an incredible star in many respects and a symbol of unity to the country. Kiptum has now been laid to rest at Chepkorio, Elgeyo Marakwet. He leaves behind a widow, 2 children, together with his parents. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Kate Andiego.
And livestock farmers in Garissa County and the northeastern region at large have been encouraged to adopt irrigation farming due to the effects of climate change on traditional livestock rearing. Speaking during the launch of the 2024 Long Rains Fertilizer Subsidy Program in Garissa County, Agricultural Development Corporation Chairman Jilo Gababi highlighted the struggles faced by livestock farmers in the region, urging them to consider alternative farming methods to ensure sustainable agricultural practices. And as Grace Ahati reports, farmers in the region will access the subsidized fertilizer at 2,500 shillings per 50-kilogram bag as part of the government's initiative to cushion them against the high cost of production.
In efforts to improve the lives of those in the northern region, farmers in the area have been encouraged to consider alternative farming methods due to the impact of climate change on traditional livestock rearing. The call to action came during the launch of the 2024 Long Rains Fertilizer Subsidy Program in Garissa County, where Agricultural Development Corporation Chairman Jilo Gababi urged farmers to take advantage of the fertilizer subsidy program and also adopt crop farming. According to Gababi, the ever-changing climate has had negative effects on pastoralism and suggests that there should be a shift away from over-reliance on livestock as the main economic activity in the region.
The government, through my ministry, is committed to ensure that farmers continue to access subsidized fertilizer in order to cushion them against the high cost of production. Cost of production iko juu kila saa. 2.5 million bags of high-quality subsidized fertilizer will be available for farmers at last mile, the salt, and agro dealers within the country county government. 8.5 million will be available during the long rain season, and 4 million will be available during the short rain season.
On her part, Garissa Women Representative Udgun Siad, while supporting the government program, called on pastoralist communities to embrace farming, which they can carry out alongside animal rearing. She further called for additional support from the government to enable women take seriously farming as an economic activity, noting that whenever drought sets in, it is the women and children that suffer the most.
Women in this county wanakuwa small scale farmers. Tunakuwa tuna produce vitu kidogo kama dania, tuna produce, and they don't have that luxury of producing other things because they don't have capacity building. If the ministry can come to Garissa and help us capacity build these women to how to do their nursery here, because wanaenda kununua from Nairobi, by the time ifike Garissa, it is of high price. So tukipatiwa nurseries, tukipatiwa greenhouses from ministry, idara ya agriculture watusaidia, then sisi tutainuka na tuko ready kufanya biashara zetu na tuko ready kujipea chakula.
Garissa County Commissioner Mohamed Mwabudzo, on the other hand, said that all national government administration officers are under instructions to ensure that messages regarding the program reach all eligible farmers.
Wafugaji hasa sababu huko ndio mainstay yao, waweze kuangalia breed za kisasa ambazo utaweka breed kidogo ambazo hata wakati wa kiangazi unaweza kuzilisha hata na hay na lisha ina tofauti, lakini ambazo zinaweza zikauzwa katika soko la hapa nchini na soko la kimataifa na kuleta pesa katika jamii.
This even as the Ministry of Agriculture has registered close to 16,000 agro-dealers in the just completed registration exercise to ensure that fertilizers are brought close to the farmers. The ministry, using Kenya Integrated Agriculture Management Information System (KIAMIS), has also registered a total of 6.4 million farmers across the nation. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
A magistrate's court has ordered the detention of Geoffrey Opala, a swimming pool attendant at the Visa Osho Primary School, over the mysterious drowning of an 11-year-old boy at the institution on Tuesday. Milimani Senior Principal Magistrate Geoffrey Onsarigo directed that Opala be detained at the Parklands Police Station. This is after the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI, said that the attendant saw the child drowning but never informed the school management. Clara Wafula, a police officer and an investigator attached at the DCI Parklands, told the court that she was seeking custodial orders to complete investigations into the offense of neglect of official duty. Lawyer Danstan Omari, who is representing the family, said the incident was a clear case of negligence. In his defense, Opala has asked to be granted bail terms as he was the sole breadwinner of his family, a plea which the court dismissed.
The said offence was committed on 20th February 2024 at about 15:30 hours while the respondent was on duty at the said Visa Osho Primary School swimming pool. That the respondent was also captured on CCTV footage on duty when the deceased walked towards the swimming pool, and later the body discovered having drowned in the swimming pool. That the respondent intentionally neglected his duty by failing to prevent the deceased, who is captured on CCTV footage, past him walking towards the swimming pool. That when it was established that the deceased was missing, the respondent failed to disclose to the school management and the parents that the deceased had walked past him towards the swimming pool. Preliminary investigations by the applicant have revealed that the deceased died of drowning, which is yet to be discovered whether it was caused by somebody or accidental.
The Pan-African Christian University PAC, a Christian university under CITAM, has today received its 4th Vice-Chancellor Professor Dionysius Kiambi at the Thika Road campus. In an event graced by his predecessor and various guests, Professor Kiambi expressed his commitment to ensure the sustainable development of students and staff in efforts to enhance provision of quality university education. Professor Kiambi takes over from Professor Margaret Muthui, who served for 2 terms. Gloria Musimbi attended the event and compiled the following report.
Professor Dionysius Kiambi, who was formerly the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Academic Affairs, has today been officiated as the Vice-Chancellor of Park University in a ceremony held at the Thika Road campus. Professor Kiambi takes over from Professor Margaret Muthui, who completed her 10-year term at the end of 2023. Led by Park Chancellor Presiding Bishop Callisto Odede, Professor Kiambi was ceremonially dressed and handed the university's instruments of power and dedicatory prayer made over him. Speaking during his acceptance speech, Professor Kiambi expressed his commitment to ensuring sustainable development of students and staff in efforts to enhance provision of quality university education,
which we can use to change the world. We shall therefore equip our students with this academic weapon with excellence and as a top priority. We aim to attract and retain exceptional faculty members, develop relevant, innovative, and market-driven academic programs, and also invest in the state-of-the-art facilities to support teaching, research, and innovation. And through cutting-edge research and publications, we will enhance our academic reputation and impact. And with these efforts, I'm sure we'll be able to provide our students with a world-class, value-based education that prepares them for leadership and service. Again, as part of our rising to a new season, we will lift the profile of the university, increase our brand visibility.
Park Chancellor and CETAM Presiding Bishop Callisto Odede hailed Professor Kiambi as a great servant leader in both academics and spiritual matters and urged him to directly integrate his abilities to his new roles.
To equip them for the ministry in the rural area in Oduor, and thank you very much, Professor Kiambi, for reflecting not only an academic angle, but also a spiritual angle that is quite important and relevant to us when we are talking of an institution that is sponsored by a church. And our prayer is that those dynamics and elements of spirituality will also be directly integrated in the ongoing leadership at Park University. As we look ahead to the future, we must reaffirm our commitment to integrating faith and learning in all aspects of university life.
While congratulating Professor Kiambi on his new role, the outgoing Vice-Chancellor Professor Martha Muthui lauded Kiambi for his leadership and management skills that he demonstrated in the last decade while serving in the institution.
Dramatic entry of Professor. Of course, the processes at Park, interviewing, I think is the only staff member who has undertaken 2 thorough interviews, different panels, to be able to get a job at Park at that time. And the second one was the wonderful way in which Professor Kiambi himself has served the university as our DVC Academic Affairs in the last 5 years. And I could stretch it to the last 7 years, even when he served as dean. But he's been an incredible person, co-working with me in building Park in those years, building the postgraduate department, leading the faculty. And as you know, academic space is really the core business that it brings us here. So leading for those 5 years, that has been something that I'll remember many instances. When he volunteered, he would see how stressed I am as Vice Chancellor over 1 or 2 things, and he would volunteer. Not that he had done them before, but he would say, let me go do it and work on it. I salute this man who is standing here, who is here with us today. The other thing that I would remember about this process we've gone through is the rigorous process.
Former Park Chancellor and Sitam Bishop Emeritus Dr. David Oginde commended the outgoing Vice Chancellor Professor Muthuri for ably holding the leadership mantle for 10 years and laboring positive efforts that led to the institution's academic excellence.
With us. But look today, if we were to make similar advertisements, our problem with shortlisting, because many people would want to come and join us in this prestigious university. We salute you, Professor Margaret, for resolutely holding the leadership mantle to ensure that Park University remains a mission force in all its operations. You labored hard to marshal every possible resource to give the universities.
Reporting for OpTV Newswatch, I'm Gloria Musimbi.
Sigor MP Peter Lochakapong has launched a 54 million shilling bursary courtesy of the Constituency Development Fund to benefit more than 8,000 less privileged and needy learners who were affected by insecurity in Sigor constituency, Central Pokot Sub-County and West Pokot County. Cattle rustling and insecurity activities in the areas have left over 60% of the children, among them orphans, who were left after their parents died due to insecurity, to miss out on education due to lack of school fees. Abigail Namude reports.
Over 8,000 less privileged and needy learners from cattle rustling and insecurity areas in Sigor constituency, Central Pokot Sub-County and West Pokot County have benefited from 54 million shillings bursaries courtesy of constituency development funds. Due to the cattle rustling and insecurity activities in the areas have left over 60% of children, among them orphans, who were left after their parents died due to insecurity, miss out on education due to lack of school fees. Sigor MP Peter Lokachapong, while speaking at Chester Girls Primary School during the launch of the bursary and a new bus for the school, said that the move will help reduce banditry and cattle rustling, thus keeping the children busy in school. He said since his area is facing many challenges of high poverty levels, hunger, lack of water, no agricultural activities and rampant insecurity, he decided to allocate the bursary to the children so that they are not hindered from furthering their education.
Ofisi yangu hii mwaka hii imetenga milioni 54 kwa ajili ya bursary. Milioni 54 kwa ajili ya bursary ya watoto wetu katika Sigor constituency. Wale watoto wote ambao wali apply wote watanufaika na wote watapewa pesa ya bursary ya Sigor constituency.
The MP has urged the national government to increase the allocation to CDF so as to ensure no child is left out on education.
Hizi pesa zitawezesha watoto wetu kukaa shule. Na wakati watoto wanakaa shule bila kutoka kwa shule, itasaidia hata mambo ya ukosefu wa usalama. Kwa sababu ile watoto wakitoka shule waende wafanye biashara nyingine ambayo si nzuri. Sasa kupitia ulipaji wa karo ya wanafunzi hawa, tunahakikisha kwamba watoto hawa wataweza kukaa kwa shule na waweze kupata elimu na wasome na wakuje wasaidie Kenya hii baadaye.
Lochakapong urged the parents to embrace education and support the children to work hard in their studies. He noted the 3 buses from Bara, Chester and Lomut primary schools will help in ferrying the children for various activities, including games, symposiums, academic trips and excursions, just to improve in their studies. He also noted that the residents in the area are faced with the drought and urging the national government to supply relief food in schools.
Leo hii imefika hiyo wakati ya kuwaletea bus 51 sita ili iweze kuwasaidia katika shughuli za shule, waweze kutumia kwenda symposium, kwenda academic trips, na hii ni shule ambayo inafanya vizuri katika sehemu hii, na tunaamini ya kwamba wao kupewa bus itawasaidia kufanya vizuri hata zaidi katika masomo yao.
Philip Yarapong, Lomut resident, said that many parents in the region have embraced education and the transition rate to secondary schools in the region has shot up.
Ukiangalia wakati huu katika sehemu hii yetu Wanafunzi wamekuwa wengi sana katika shule ya sekondari kwa sababu kuna pesa wanasaidiwa hii ya serikali. Kwa hivyo nasema asante sana kwa upande wa serikali vile wametafakari serikali kuu ya county.
He applauded the MP for equal and transparency in disbursement of the funds and stated that the funds will help rescue girls from early forced marriages since they will be in school continuously.
Sisi tunategemea tu wanyama, tunategemea kulima, na vile uliona karibu miaka 3 hivi hakuna mvua. Sasa ukame sasa imekaa kwa muda mrefu. Kwa hivyo sasa hiyo ndio changamoto, ndio unaona sasa watoto wetu hawawezi kwenda shule vile inatakikana. Hiyo ndio shida kuu ambao tunapata bande hii, ndio unapata watoto wetu wako na shida sana. Kwa hivyo tunasema wakati serikali wametuingilia namna hii tumefurahi na watoto wetu watasoma wote.
Abigail Namude reporting for Hope TV and Newswatch.
Look at business now. The KCB Foundation has handed over laptops to 240 university students from the 2022 KCSE cohort under its KCB Scholars Program. The initiative aims to support their higher education studies, enhance their digital literacy skills, and ultimately empower them to thrive in the modern job market. KCB Foundation Director Mendy Njonjo said the goal is to increase the digital skills of the vulnerable and marginalized learners at risk of dropping out of school completely to enable them to take advantage of digital jobs that they come across. The students were also introduced to the Ajira digital program and Google opportunities available from a freelancing perspective. This was through a panel discussion themed Digital Futures, contributing to the digital innovations for SDG 4 that unpacked the opportunities available in the digital space to the students and to maximize these job linkages for their growth.
My sincere gratitude to the KCB Foundation for its unwavering commitment to sustainable development and to the alleviation of poverty in this country under the thematic area of education, enterprise, development, health, environment, and humanitarian intervention. The initiatives taken by the KCB Foundation underpin today's theme, digital innovation for the SDG, for the Sustainable Development Goals, which is a commitment to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities. So the KCB scholars, as we come here together today, you are not just recipients of laptops, but you are future innovators, entrepreneurs, and leaders who will shape the digital landscape of our country.
The laptops being offered today, I think they will help me in a lot of ways. I'll be doing, I think, online jobs to earn income. I'll be doing my research. Currently, we are supposed to do a research in the semester I am in. I think it will help me. I will learn more skills online since the world today is all about digital.
The goal is to align your work with your personal values and make a positive difference. And the outcome is fulfillment, meaning, sense of purpose, and personal growth. And I can assure you no amount of money, no amount of the best job in the world or the biggest enterprise you have in the world will necessarily give you that.
National carrier Kenya Airways and Vietnam Airlines have announced the renewal of their codeshare partnership following KQ's resumption of flights to Thailand, which commenced in November last year. The codeshare partnership will allow customers of the two airlines to enjoy flexibility and choice with smooth connections via Bangkok and Nairobi to points such as Joburg, Cape Town, Dar es Salaam, Kisumu, Entebbe, Kigali, and Mombasa, among others, for business or leisure. Kenya Airways resumed its services to Bangkok on the 21st of November last year, offering flights 3 times a week. Safaricom has held its second Investor Day in Addis Ababa, providing an opportunity for the investment community to gain insights into the company's achievements and future plans, as well as see the progress so far in Ethiopia rollout. The Investor Day was themed Scaling Operations for Ethiopia's Digital Future. Speaking at the event, Adil Khawaja, the board chairman of Safaricom PLC, reiterated the company's long-term commitment to Ethiopia, saying they are confident that the firm will remain at the forefront of driving digital innovation and delivering exceptional value to customers, shareholders, and the communities it serves. Safaricom Group CEO Peter Ndegwa lauded Ethiopia's digital future, saying it has been instrumental in driving the company's growth.
It's our third year of operation. We wanted to make sure that investors have an experience of the possibilities and opportunity that we see in Ethiopia, feel the business here locally, meet the team, and be able to see firsthand the kind of business we are creating, the commercial momentum that we are building, and then so that they can learn for themselves.
Since inception of commercial operations in Ethiopia, the progress has remained largely positive, with 9 million gross additions since the launch, 4.3 million 90-day active customers as of December 2023. We have covered a sizable part of the population and are on track to meet the network coverage license obligations.
The foundation of our success have now been put in place. So what we're looking at now is scaling those for future success. So the building phase is almost over, the foundations have been built, now we're going to start building the house and show how successful we can be here.
To some sports now, Kenya Premier League side KCB FC will take on Michael Olunga Foundation Mofa in the round of 32 Mozart Cup this weekend at the Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay County. The Bankers will be keen to turn their fortunes around in the fixture following a tough run of matches recently. At the Premier League, the Bernard Mwalala-led side is sitting 10th with 29 points after 22 matches played so far. Head coach Bernard Mwalala noted that there is need for synergies between the new players coming in and the rest of the squad to win matches. KCB will host New Boys Muranga Seal on the 3rd of March in Kenya Premier League action as the title race intensifies.
The preparation have been well for this week. There's morale in the team. Hopefully it will be a turnover for the team. So we pray that we're going to have a good result and for the Mozart team, for the Mozart tournament. Then it will also help us in coming back in the league. This is just a match like any other match because we are not looking at the team, that the division that they're playing. It's a match that we're going to go and approach it just like the other matches. Because if we win that match, it will be a morale boost for the team. Also will bring back the confidence in the team.
Tumeshiftwa Mozart, concentration haiwezi tutoka na hopefully tutakuwa na best results kwa hiyo Mozart na hopefully tutaenda CAF kulingana na morale ya teammates wangu venye wanajipush kwa training. Inatumotivate pia push venye makocha wanatusukuma itakuwa poa.
And ahead of the 2024 WRC Safari Rally, KCB Bank, in collaboration with its rally-sponsor drivers, plan to plant 2,000 trees as part of its afforestation efforts ahead of the Easter weekend rally in Naivasha. The initiative through the KCB Linda Miti project aims to plant and nurture 1.8 million trees by 2028. Speaking during the tree planting exercise at Milimani Primary School in Naivasha, KCB Group Head of Corporate and Regulatory Affairs, Judith Sidio Odhiambo, said the move is strategic and exemplifies the bank's dedication to environmental conservation, to support local communities, promote sustainable practices, and leave an impactful legacy for future generations. That's how we end Newswatch. Thank you for your valuable company. I have been your anchor, Melissa Oduor. Boniface Muredi has been on the sign language tonight. Have a great weekend.